Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we're dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight as the Viper, playing as the blue Incas, prepares to take on MbL, playing as the red Ethiopians. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to go up to Feudal as fast as possible, there is one thing I should mention before we look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now, these two giants of Age of Empires recently played a series of 5 ranked ladder matches just a short while ago. These games weren't part of any competition. They weren't the best of anything. It was just 5 random matches between the two players. So the final score, because you know we'll be keeping score, might be 5-0, might be 4-1, might even be 3-2. At this point, casting the first game, I have absolutely no clue how this series is going to end. But to get a little bit philosophical on you, how it ends is not as relevant as how much fun we're going to have watching these two guys play. Whether the Viper wins more games or MbL wins more games, the real winner is us, the viewers. So keep an eye out tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the day after that, because we are going to be watching all 5 games together, one at a time. So without further ado, let's take a look at the actual Civ matchup we'll be watching today in the first of 5 games between these two players. The Incas, if you've watched my casts before, you know I consider them to be the quintessential counter-civilization. Their first unique unit, the Kamayuk, is a ranged infantry unit that carries a very long spear, comes with a massive attack bonus against cavalry units. Their second unique unit, the Slinger, is an archer unit that comes with a big attack bonus against infantry, which can also be upgraded to get another small attack boost. And if your opponent goes ranged units, such as archers, the Incans can actually rely on their skirmishers, which not only get all archery range, blacksmith, and university upgrades, but can also be upgraded to have no minimum range, which takes away one of the biggest weaknesses of the skirmisher. Now, to make their army even tankier on the field of battle, the Incas can upgrade their Kamayuks, their slingers, and their eagle warriors to get extra melee and pierce armor. Now, to build and support their military industrial complex, certain military units do cost less and less food as the game goes on, all the way up to 15% less food in Imperial. The Incas start the game, if you noticed earlier on, with a free llama underneath their town center, which may not sound like much, but does give you an extra unit to explore the map with, or just gives you an immediate source of 100 food. Now, their buildings cost 15% less stone. Their houses support 10 population space instead of the usual 5. And their villagers are harder to raid later on in the game, because starting in Castle Age, they do benefit from infantry blacksmith upgrades. And by the way, the Incas get all infantry blacksmith upgrades. Now, opposing our quintessential counter-civilization is the Ethiopians in red, a civilization designed to kill its opponents as fast as possible. Their foot archers are the fastest firing foot archers in the game. Their onagers, scorpions, rams, and even bombard cannons can be upgraded to have an even bigger blast radius. And their unique unit, the Shotel warrior, is a fast, incredibly strong, but overall somewhat fragile unit whose elite form, is that the way of saying it? Whose elite form, trains in only 4 seconds. Now, to help strengthen their army on the field of battle, both their Shotel warriors and their camel units can, with the latest patch, be upgraded to take less damage from all mounted units, whether or not those mounted units are ranged, such as cav archers, or melee, such as knights, for example. Now, to support the Ethiopian military endeavors out on the map, they do get 100 food and 100 gold for free every time they go up in age. They get the pikeman upgrade for free, so they can hit the ground running in castle and start countering some cavalry units. And the Ethiopian economy is harder to raid because their outposts come with a big boost to a line of sight. And by the way, a thanks again to the latest patch, costs no stone at this point. So those are the two civs we have. Very excited. These are 2 very hard-hitting civilizations with 2 very fun, or I should rather say 3 very fun unique units. In my wildest dreams, we hope to see perhaps Shotel warriors take on slingers. The slingers would decimate them until the Shotels close the ranks, and then the Shotels would decimate the slingers. But we'll see if that's just fanciful dreaming or whether or not that becomes a reality. It's the Viper making the first move here with 2 militias, his Eagle Scout as well. MbL 6, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. I swear I know how to count. Seconds away from hitting Feudal right as I finish that sentence. Let's take a look at the actual base. He's carved himself a little nook here, securing the back. Not really securing this portion, although he doesn't need to. I see now this one little bush, this palm forest. Not exactly a forest if you have one tree, is it? Reaching the edge of Terra Incognita. Or rather, I guess the edge of Terra Firma. Approaching Terra Incognita. Primary gold nice and secure in the back, although has already been dislodged from his stone by the Viper's early game shenanigans here, not managing to wall that off, but against some militia, villagers and a scout will do just fine. Primary stone also secure in the back. So MbL choosing, because the entire forward-facing portion of his base, take a look at this. All of the western portion, all of the southern portion is completely open. He's choosing a funnel approach where, unfortunately for him, he didn't complete this last palisade, but had he done that, the Viper would have had to engage through a town center to get to his ooey gooey gold center. Now the villagers are going to start pushing this back. Let's take a look at HP. Pretty solid for all units on the map. The Viper, take a look at his base, completely open to the north, somewhat open to the east, the south as well. Primary gold a little bit off campus, primary stone nice and secure. So overall, both players really advantaged and disadvantaged in equal ways. I think the Viper more advantaged in terms of the wall off to the east, but take a look at where his forests are, how far away from the town center. This is a long, long distance, whereas MbL has 2 that are fairly close by, and by the way, they are thick, which means that archers should not be able to penetrate the one to the northwest, the one to the east a little bit thinner, so would do well to maybe build another lumber camp up here. 3 kills for our Ethiopian. We know exactly what those kills were, those 2 militias and the Eagle Scout. He is now moving out with 2 archers, but MbL already 5 army supply, 4 archers on the way, a spearman, a scout. He should be able to defend this just fine, especially if he takes the high ground. I think this is the high ground. Okay, right as I say that, the Viper's archers get their first kill. He lies face down in the sand, melting, disappearing, remembered by no one. This one solitary archer who tried to make a difference in the Feudal Age. Now it's the Viper on the high ground, but HP in favor of MbL here by 1 HP. Oh, but the presence of this guy with the long skirmisher spear, the javelin, will be able to shoo away the Viper's force. The Viper building no skirmishers of his own, going archers and eagles. Has secured his southern border. Has somewhat secured his eastern border, but again, like MbL, choosing a funnel approach. Although I suspect maybe we're going to see some structure here, some building. Both players investing into archers, into archer upgrades. Let's take a look at the Viper's base. While the players have kind of soft disengaged from each other, blacksmith archery range, no surprise there. A little surprised that he is going in archer war with the Ethiopians. Remember, Ethiopians fastest firing foot archers in the game. MbL, for his part, archery range, blacksmith as well. So equal, not equal, identical structures for the players. Army supplies very similar, 8 to 9. 1 extra unit for our Ethiopian, although that unit is not here, the spearman, nor is the scout cavalry. Where are you? With his 2 HP, he turned tail. He ran to literally the edge of the world to escape military duty. This is not a scout you want in your army. Very unreliable. Archer goes back. Spearman should be still here. HP also not the greatest. Now the Viper's got skirmishers of his own. Villager count identical. Let's take a look at resources. Looks like MbL is starting to bank a good amount of resources. That extra 100 gold doing pretty damn good things to your economy. If you can manage it quite well, it means you have to mine 100 less gold, which means you can go up to castle off the back of fewer gold miners. But of course, as I say that, he's got 11 gold miners, so the Viper's 6, so double the gold miners of his opponent. The Viper continues, rather, not continues, it is beginning to approach his opponent's base yet again. is shooing away the berry pickers, my favorite berries in the game, the lemon bushes with the pretty blue butterflies. Where are they? There they are. Oh, there they are. You can see them floating around. Neither party wishing to engage into the other. MbL clicking up to castle off the back of 35 villagers. The Viper going to go up to 38 at least. And then he needs just 200 more food, and he should be able to get his butt up to castle as well. Oh. MbL should have noticed this, that there is a gap in here. This is not fully walled off. Those archers just went right through. MbL should notice that. Or maybe he's firmly fixed on this part of the map. His archers don't notice. They run into two eagles. Oh, no. Oh, goodness. An ambush. The shot heard around the world begins. The bigger engage here to the south. We've got skirmishers on skirmishers, but the Vipers are on the high ground. Two eagles are now dead. Spearman joining with his very, very weak HP. Look at the Viper. He knows there's no point in targeting this Spearman. The Spearman is not going to accomplish anything. Get the archers first, and then you can kill the Spearman. Okay, right as I say that, I guess he knows these units are about to die, so he picks off the weakest unit that he can, which in this case was the Spearman. So good game sense in both decisions there by the Viper, who is now also heading up to castle, but a full minute behind his opponent. We'll see what MbL decides to do with his advantage here. Extra town center going up for him. How are the military structures looking? Looks like we've got 2 archery ranges, and that's basically it. Did he plug the gap in here? Doesn't look like he did between, where was it? Between the house and the market? Does he care, though? He is moving out. The Viper moving out as well, but with a very damaged skirmisher securing his gold. One thing I will say, it's curious the Viper didn't build the tower further away from the gold. Meaning if MbL can build a tower right here outside the range of this tower, it should be able to lame the gold. I'm surprised that the Viper didn't build a tower on the external part of the gold, which would have absolutely saved it from any kind of counter tower. Perhaps he just doesn't expect any kind of tower play out of his opponent for now. These crossbows +2, +1. Take a look at their firing rate, 1.7. 18% faster firing rate. Not quite a Mangadai, but pretty damn close. Army supply 11-3. The Viper only ahead 1 villager, going for Eagle Warriors. The jump from Eagle Scout to Eagle Warrior, pretty good. Not as good as the jump from Eagle Warrior to Elite, but oh my goodness. MbL says, you know what? I guess he saw the Watchmen movie. Pulls a Rorschach. Looks at the eagle straight in the eye and says, I'm not trapped in here with you. You are trapped in here with me. And my goodness, did he get a lot of kills there? These 2 crossbows themselves have 4 kills. Another eagle will die, maybe? Or is he going to target the villager? Or will he just run away? He does have a few reinforcements. Oh, they got through halfway into the map. Turned tail and ran. That was a lot of energy, a lot of time expended by the Viper there. In the meantime, MbL, more villagers, more army supply. The Viper going up to 7 Eagle Warriors, +1, +2 on them. But these archers are still +2, +1. And let's see if he just decides to go full on range units. I mean, he must have seen the gap here. Is he just hoping that the Viper doesn't notice this if the Viper pushes out? In any event, the Viper's second town center also making an appearance at the 23.5-minute mark of the game. MbL continuing to patrol. Oh man, you guys know I love my Hakuna Matata parts of Arabia. We got a lion, king of the hill, king of the jungle, king of the desert. Watching the ostrich, the 2 zebras. These guys just had an argument. This is me and my wife. I want to eat pizza tonight. I want to eat healthy. No, okay, fine. I'll eat healthy with you. You know who, you know, based on, if you watch my casts in our lives, you know which one of us says what here. Oh, is he going to try to rush in? By the way, what has the Viper actually seen? So he hasn't seen this part of MbL's base. If he had seen this one, has he actually? Let's see. He has not. he would know that this is a very much a weak point. 1 palisade wall, 250 HP. Oh, I don't like this by the Viper here, carving up his army. 5 eagles to the north, 5 to the south. I mean, their melee, their pierce armor is pretty good at 5. But their, you know, everything else is not exactly the greatest. Okay, here we go. MbL reacts, though, immediately. Not the greatest, I was going to say, against how many? 19 crossbows, 22, 27. After this production cycle finishes. What does MbL have here? Are relics going to play any role in this game? Let's take a look. He's seen 1, 2, 3 relics. Hasn't seen the one over here where the Viper is located. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which? Oh no, he's seen all. He's seen 4, and this one to the south. The Viper, for his part, has seen 1, 2, and obviously the third one he just ran by. MbL, very defensive castle here. He's going to see these 5 Eagle Scouts. He's going to say, wait a second, I thought your army was to the north. WTF are you doing down south? Oh, you split your army up? I'm just going to attack you then. Movement speed 0.96 versus 1.26 means the Eagles can run circles around these crossbows. MbL's got to be careful so much. At this point of the game, 28 minutes in, when your civilian population starts going 60, 70, 80, 100, it's so hard to micro individual units, and so lumberjacks become just as much a liability as an asset. If they clear one of these logs and all of a sudden there's an open gap, an open area to attack into his base, could spell trouble for our red Ethiopian. 3rd town center going up for the Viper, 3rd town center going up for MbL, and we've got Shotels. Take a look at that base attack of 16, just absolutely ridiculous. Shotels versus Eagles is what we are here for. That is the kind of drama that we love in Age of Empires. Mangonel should be able to zone out at least for a little bit, but actually, you know what? I take that back. 29 crossbows on the high ground. This Mangonel doesn't stand a chance. Let's see if he get... Okay, does manage to get a decent volley. MbL says, you know what? I'm not even going to bother micro. I'm just going to stagger my units. And here we go. This is part of the April patch. The developers adding this Karnak style ancient Egypt, I would guess, melted pyramid into the melted into the sands of time. What a beautiful addition to the game. This game, man, just gets prettier and prettier, better and better, like a fine glass of wine. If you guys can't tell, I really love this game. No further upgrades for these crossbows. Not really upgraded these Shotels either, although now with Squires, they do move for a little bit faster, 10% faster. And now the Shotels are out. They're starting to raid. Remember, the Royal Heirs upgrade no longer... Okay, yeah, good luck, Lion. Good luck with that. The Royal Heirs upgrade no longer means these guys are trained in 4 seconds. The base model, what you see here, the unupgraded package, no power steering, no winter tires, still trains in 8 seconds. The elite version, the second it becomes elite, starts training in 4 seconds. I'm surprised that the Viper is leaving his army out in the middle of the map, having seen exactly the size of what's coming towards him. And here we go. I wanted to see Slingers versus Shotels. I am getting my wish. Oh my god, they're so ridiculously strong. They absolutely shredded that catapult in a split second. Oh, the Ethiopian army here is just way too big. 42 army supply, although one shot from the Mangonel makes it 39, 38, I think. Is that going to go to 27? The Viper guarding a relic. Oh my god, remember, Eagles still do come with a bonus against monks, +8. What the hell? What the hell is going on here? Guys, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? Which player will notice first? We will keep an eye on this. Eagles say, nice attack, Shotel. Base of 16. Looks like MbL wanted to build a castle here, but changed his mind. But we outnumber you 13-1. MbL has retreated here. Doesn't want to face Mangonel. These Shotels need to back away. Remember, like I said, they are fast. They are strong. but they are weak in terms of HP, 45 HP, and the slingers get a nice juicy plus 10 attack against these guys. And their armor is absolute dog shit, starting at a 0. Okay, Eagles entering into the mix here. Lion enters into the mix. Oh my god, what an absolute slaughter fest here in game 1 of this 5-game series. Showtells, oh, they're so ridiculously powerful, and they attack so ridiculously fast. MbL thinks better of it, says, you know what, okay, fine. I'll let you have this area. You can defend this forest and a little bit of this gold. I'm just going to pivot elsewhere. Army supply 29-9. The trade there went quite well for the Viper, but unfortunately for him, he has no follow-up. 5 slingers, 3 eagles, and a monk. 1 relic apiece for the players, and now red, if you can look at the minimap, is streaming to the northern part of the map. A castle is being built here. The Viper has secured the center. More archery ranges coming out for him. MbL says, fine, take the center. I'm going to lame your secondary, tertiary gold, and I'm going to lame your secondary stone, if this is a secondary stone. Didn't have a chance to look at it earlier, but it is a stone pile. It is a gold pile that now is under control of the Ethiopian army, which, by the way, outnumbers his opponent literally 4-1, if my math is correct. Both players heading up to Imperial. Our Ethiopian will get there first off the back of 1 extra villager. And here we go. More stone for him. The Incas, like all Mesoamerican civs, besides the Eagle Warrior, lack a lot of mobility. The Kamayuks, the Slingers, their infantry, they do not move fast at all. The Eagles, fully upgraded, do move super duper fast. Fastest infantry unit in the game, I think, actually, not after anything. It's I think it's, let me know in the comments below. I think it's the fastest infantry unit in the game. Feeling cocky is MbL, placing down a town center to the north of his opponent's base. A lion joining in on the fight. Outpost under attack, revealing the skirmishers. By the way, take a look at this line of sight of this tower. How ridiculous is this line of sight? Look at that. He notices literally an 1/8 of the map with 1 outpost. Did I say town center? Oh god, the Viper caught out here. Skirmisher's not going to do much. Castle will, though. Gets a few of these Showtells on the retreat. Their backs turned to the castle. They will get the monk as well. Or maybe not. No, he's definitely going to sacrifice them for the monk. Don't turn around. Don't turn around. You will turn into a pillar of salt. Okay, now our Showtells are raiding. Man, these are 2 fantastic raiding civilizations. The Showtells moving at a 1.32. The Eagles at the moment moving at a 1.26. These are not yet elite. We'll see if he goes elite, Eagle Warriors. Do Showtells come with a bonus against the Eagles? Almost everything has a bonus. Yeah, take a look. +2. Literally almost everything in this game comes with an attack bonus against the Eagles. The poor Eagles. Showtells raiding everywhere. I saw the big old boom of a treb ball already out for MbL. Conscription being researched for both players. MbL making himself at home here. How much has the Viper seen of this, by the way? Has not seen the town center, has seen the castle, has seen the other military infrastructure, but neither player here securing their bases very well, to be honest. I mean, there's a town center, fine, but a town center against a unit that has 5 pierce armor. Another monk bites the dust. Crossbows, 28 of them left. Where are they, by the way? Would love to see a monk thrown into here, maybe start healing some of these guys up. 160 HP is not a lot, until you remember that's basically 20% of their HP. Slingers have to get the hell out of here. 2 pierce armor is not enough to stop these crossbows from running amok. And by the way, the Viper also, besides the castle, there is a whole chunk of this civilian population, his economy here in the back, that the Showtells can actually reach, taking a little bit of damage, but out comes the bombard skirmishers. Remember, these guys can be upgraded to get rid of their minimum range. Not an expensive upgrade, the Andean Sling. Plus, it also, remember, it actually accomplishes two things. It adds a +1 attack to these guys, and it also removes the minimum range. It's a twofer, like the conic of upgrades. The Andean Sling does accomplish two things: redemption, sanctity. The Viper wants to be able to convert. Where is it? These bombards. Wants to be able to convert buildings. The problem for him, these guys are now arbalests. Take a look at how fast they fire. These are machine guns in Age of Empires. Look at this. Are you watching this? This is insane. Okay, we're gonna wait for MbL to stop clicking and just attack something here. Look at this. Look at this. That's just ridiculous. And he moves with 3 bombards, 15 shotels, 37 arbalests. Are there any archery ranges here? Yeah, I love this by MbL. Look at this infrastructure he's set up. He's basically built a second base here. Absolute wonderful use of a proxy base. The Viper, even though he's only down 10 army supply, it's 32 skirmishers. I am starting to worry here for the Viper here. Sorry, I said here a few too many times. Also, I realized in the intro of the video, I said that these two players played 5 games recently, a short while ago. That was a bit redundant. These shotels, if they didn't know there was a castle here before, they absolutely do now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god. Okay, MbL moving a little bit too forward here with these bombards. Loses 1, getting a little bit too cocky perhaps. Army supply now in favor of the Viper, but again, 25 of that is in skirmishers. But MbL has no melee here. Is this going to work out for the Viper? I mean, MbL peacocked a little bit too much. 1, 2, and underneath this infrastructure is 3. Or rather, are 3 dead. Bombard cannons, and loses a Treb as well. Oh my goodness. But MbL, undeterred, rebuilds, or rather builds 2 extra siege workshops. He's trying to scare the Viper into GGing, I think, by revealing 4 freaking siege workshops right on top of his head. Yeah, because the Viper has seen the first 2. I think once these rams come out, there's nothing here from MbL that can from the Viper that can handle this. Even the slingers don't really attack that much. Actually, they attack pretty similar, no? 7, a 4, an 8 rather. All MbL has to do here is start spamming rams, add in a few melee units, which is going to be difficult. I think he's got way too many villagers, 144. But it doesn't matter. Take a look. The Viper's ranged units are dying. The Treb is wreaking havoc. Now it's going to start going for this military infrastructure. Now these rams are capped rams, and MbL takes the first game. Wow, if all these 5 games are going to be this fun, we are in for an absolute amazing 5 days here. But wow, look at this. MbL creating an entirely new base says, you know what? I'm just going to basically, I was going to say secure, but he didn't actually secure this base. There's a lot of exposed civilian population here. How many civilians, by the way, in this one quadrant? 50 civilians, a shotel, and a monk. Where's the monk, by the way? Is he inside the monastery? Oh, no, there he is, hiding. We see your outline. You can't hide from us. I mean, you can try. I probably probably would miss that. But in any event, not securing his base over here, decides, you know what? I'm just going to go up to 144 villagers. If the Incas start raiding with their higher armor eagle warriors, I am going to be just fine. Because I have how many villagers here? 59 villagers right outside the Viper's base. My goodness. That is a lot of villagers. You know, sometimes we see 8, sometimes we see 11, 15, 59 villagers. I mean, come on. That is just bonkers. That being said, teefing the gold, pinching the gold, taking the stone, MbL is just all over the resources. Would not be surprised if his economy is at least 15 to 20% bigger than the Viper's. No. Okay, Relic's not really playing a role here. The Viper only ahead in wood. About 2,500. MbL equal. Oh my god, look at this. Equal food. 7,000 gold ahead of his opponent. And an extra castle. Almost 2 castles worth of stone. How are these so close? What am I missing here? This is about, what, 6,000 difference? Let's call it just under 6,000. So yeah, it's about a little over 10%. The Viper's 25 ahead here. These two are equal. He's 7,000 behind here. And about 1,000. Okay, so yeah. This is crazy, though. Take a look at that gold count. Did MbL spend all of this? Doesn't feel like it, right? 1,300 gold still left. Skirmishers versus Arbalest. Look at that hero level APM in the earlier parts of the game for the Viper. MbL in the mid, let's call it, part of the game, was at his peak APM. Did the Viper manage to get any converts to write home about? No, 2 apiece. Kill count, let's take a look. Our Ethiopian killed a lot more. Of course, the Viper going trash. And when you go trash, you lose a lot more. That is the whole point of trash. You need a lot of it. Has killed also 22 villagers. 5 for the Viper, 165 kills. So the Inca here, oh, look at this, by the way, this animation that it stopped on. It looks like, oh my god, it looks like this, it looks like this Incan slinger is punching the Shotel warrior in the face, right? This reminds me of that Mike Tyson and old Nintendo boxing game where you punch upwards. Oh, wow, that's hilarious. It really looks like he's punching the Shotel warrior in the face, and it looks like the Shotel's right about to slice this guy's left arm off. Oh my god. What an absolute crazy death animation. But in any event, I was about to say our Inca kind of looked like he was going ranged units in the beginning, then shifted to infantry with the Eagles, and then shifted back to range. So the Viper playing a little bit reactive, let's call it, whereas MbL certainly feels like he had a game plan, right? From the beginning, it was crossbows and Shotels, arbalests and Shotels. And he discovered this one location where he could basically negate the stone and the gold for the Viper. And he did exactly that. I just love this proxy base, by the way. And again, let's find a outpost in the middle of nowhere. Oh man, the Ethiopian outpost. Look at this to the south. Look how much vision he has. And again, the Incas no cavalry, so you can see them coming a mile away. What an absolute crazy civilization feature this, with the +3 range on these outposts. Wow. 0 kill outpost, not surprising there. Outpost not exactly an aggressive structure, but wow, what a fun little fun little thing to see. All these cool features for the Ethiopians make them incredibly powerful, but ultimately, yeah, it does seem like MbL had a game plan, the Viper playing a bit reactive, and when you're playing reactive against a player who has, you know, not that much less elo than you, is that the right way of saying it? Not that much fewer elo points, not that much less elo than you, about, what is that, 39? 2720 to 2759 is still a ridiculously high elo. You know, maybe letting him dictate the pace of the game, not exactly the greatest idea, but in any event, what an absolute fantastic game. Remember, guys, this is game 1 of a series of 5 games played by these two guys, by these two titans, these giants of Age of Empires. Man, look at my channel. There's a bunch of matches between them duking it out. I don't know if there's a clear victor. I mean, the Viper, obviously, everyone loves the Viper, but I think everyone loves MbL as well. So we have ourselves a super fun series of games. Game 1 going to MbL, but we'll see you all back tomorrow for game number 2. The Viper just didn't react quick and powerfully enough, ends up losing the entirety of the northern portion of his base to this proxy, insanely cohesive and beautiful proxy base of MbL. 59 villagers right outside, right on the Viper's doorstep. The Viper taps out, lives to fight another day, and we will see him fight another day tomorrow. MbL gets the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.